I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is April 8th, Wednesday, 2026. Hope you had a good day today. So, yo, I'm trying to tell you, I'm impressed with myself, to be honest with you. I mean, this is not to toot the horn, but, most people who are really great traders and put it on the internet that this was like maybe an oversold, and even they don't call it oversold. They'll use projections like as I'm using. We're into the 2 to 2.5 over here. We got the 2 to 2.5 down here from that projection and so on. And then, depending on how you measured it, that's fine. It's semantics in a way, but, and then for us to call it coming up, coming back, then shooting all the way. This is the third time now that I've predicted Trump's movement before it happened. How am I able to do this? Okay, so forget about your order book, forget about your volume, your profiles, and, your bid and ask of all this auction theory and dude, indicator, listen. Okay, so with an algorithm, if it's an algorithm, obviously it's an algorithm because it's moving to specific places. If seasonality is a thing, where we consolidate a quarter of 4 quarters in a year, separate them to each quarter, and then you go back 20, 30, 40, 50 years and all this, and you notice the similar things happening in these seasonality quarter months and times of the year, that means the algorithm is moving it. So buyers and sellers are doing the exact same behavior those years prior, exactly with similar structure and this. So that's how you. That's to show you that it has to. I can't do this if it wasn't. There's no fucking way. I don't give a fuck what kind of follower of trading you are. Okay, or whatever method you use. People stop following me because maybe this is too complex. And I understand I do advanced theory of technical analysis, but notice how I'm not using all that extra dumb shit. I mean, it's not that. It's not. Look. Do I need it? Okay, so when Trump is doing his thing, am I sitting here? Am I showing you the day before? This is made on the 30th. That the one before this one I made on the 6th. So today's the 8th. This is 2 days ago. So said that we were at a high here, retrace back. I put the line right here, but get into a higher low, taking some in liquidity, and then popping all the way up past this first imbalance of the month. You see the liquidity here. Oh, we were easy selling. What was I on I was calling it even before we got down here. I was saying we were selling from up here. I've got the drawings already with that imbalance. So it's been there, right? So we're looking at that structure. And then here, I'm proud of myself because the old beginner me would say, oh, it's down here. It's still selling. I'm going to keep selling it. I'm going to sell it here. It goes up. Oh, I'm going to keep selling. Oh, goes up again. Oh, I'm going to keep selling here. Up, goes up. And you're still fucking selling, right? Notice how I am doing that in advance because realistically, they've done the damage here. And we know that they're going to hunt this liquidity to the left, okay? We know that there's buy limit orders up here as well to get filled. So the market's hunting for that liquidity, the inefficiency, and delivering fair value and all that bullshit. All right. So look, what happened? What happened? What happened? My dude, look at that. You can't make this up. Do you see it? Perfect. Wow, how did I know? So it kept going in Asia. Watch this. You want to see some fire? I bring the fire in this damn bitch. You want to see the fire? Look at this. Look at this right here. You want to tell me that this is a coincidence? I made the video here. We tagged it. I have made the video right here. We gap up. We come straight up. Just so you don't get lost. This first imbalances here is from Monday. Okay, so Tuesday we broke through. Tuesday is as of now the low of the week. Right? High probability low of the week as well. We're in that quadrant. We had, you can go watch yesterday's video. So it makes sense, but watch this. So that's that first imbalance there. And then this is the big one here going across is of the month. So what do? We open up right at that line I told you of that old low. Why? Because this is a fake resistance. This is why support resistance doesn't work. Do support resistance work in some times? Yes. In order flow? Yes. In some structural trend days? Yes, fine. But I did this for a reason. I said this could be a brick wall ceiling and it could roll over. Did it roll over? No. Why? Because they're manipulating, talking about this bullshit. We're going to give you an extra 2 weeks overseas of the news. And okay, bro, isn't that amazing? How I predicted the ceasefire for 2 weeks then? Is that what you're telling me? I must have. I predicted that's amazing, isn't it? I gotta be a fucking billionaire. I must be a genius. Okay, so take a look here. It's gotta be algorithmic. All right, so pops up here. All right, shakes out to the left. Okay, it's ramming these guys right here. Remember, I talked about that. Ran to this almost here, and then what did it do? Fake the funk up here first. Boom. Taps into that monthly. I can't make this up. Where did it go? You don't fucking say. You don't say. Yeah. That's not going to be in your order flow or volume, buddy. That's not. See, we do our thing here in this sense, understanding that I'm not going to make it complicating, but I also know it is rigged. So that being said, sweeping these guys so slightly and gently, tapping the top of that Monday. That's why Mondays are important. Wednesdays are important. And then what does it do? Immediately gone, baby. Oh, gone. At any moment, you are only buying higher lows. You're not picking tops, even though that when this pops up and it shoots up like this, there's a high probability that this will sell back in there. And if you kept holding, you're fucked. And when it popped up all the way up here, obviously this was instant, so it was like, good luck. But even when it pushes all the way up, it's very high probability for this to sell back. Yeah, we're not looking for that. Anyways, it does it, and then from there you learn to see that every momentum candle closes that way, and then it's just higher lows from there. I'm extending the left of the chart, which is going to be, I've already had this on my chart. Okay, so you even got proof of it. All right, you see these levels up here. That's an old bearish daily imbalance. So is that one right there. I have the gaps there. Let's continue back. Okay, because you can't make it up. All I did was extend it over. I didn't have to be more smart than I need to be, and I just extended them over. What do we have? You might think, oh, that's so much shit. Oh, yeah, well, you have fun with all those fucking bubbles on top of your price action. I mean, if you use it for a separate chart, that's smart. But I just don't understand how people trade like that. But whatever, that's fine. And it works for them, it's great. But what's the idea? Is this buying or selling? It's fucking buying. Okay, so we know that it's coming up here, and if it's buying, you can participate. When you get up here, what did you think today was going to be like? Did you think it was going to buy from up here, or was it going to come back down first or retrace? Yeah, come back down and retrace. I mean, let's just be real here. The day was laid out for you already before we even started, even though you missed all this. Okay, before I continue with that shit, you can see that I just dragged over that weekly gap, that bearish daily, and then that bearish daily, and then there's two gaps right there, and I have them all there. These are all time-based algorithmic levels. These are not zones. These are not like possibilities. These are all specific fucking 1000% levels based off of time in algorithm delivery, period. Like opens, pure market levels. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, right? So if that's the case, they're dragged over, and I'm watching it go through up and down, but it's going up. Let's go to this 1 minute. Just pay attention to all this. I can quad these, and I'm going to show you. Just follow the flow here. This is my chart, no one else's. These are my levels. I'm barely 90-something% of people do not have this on their chart. Guaranteed. Anyways, you can see it popping up, comes into here. You think you're trying to sell this. No, you're trying to buy them. All right, consecutive candles. We get into this old daily here, playing around on that 50 in the bottom, okay? And let's keep watching it. It's going up. Now we're up there, coming back. There's eighth levels. Here's squatted. I haven't moved over here, so you just have to do the research. We're coming in, we're staying, we're playing on the top. Now we're bouncing underneath that gap right there. And then we're bouncing around that gap right there and at that low of that gap. And then watch how fire this just gets, bro. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I don't give a fuck what anyone say. It's not about important. At the time that this is going on, look to your left. They have now swept this high. Okay, so I use this as, and actually as a projection. We went into the 2.5. Oh, notice how it went back. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna open this up. That was a piece of liquidity. So they've already ran all this, right? There's that there. Why didn't we not come up here right now? I'm not saying we can't go up there later today or tomorrow. I'm just saying, why didn't we go there initially? Because they've got this guy and everybody else. Everyone's going to be holding a bag for the buying. So they're going to now want to pull back. Just to get what? Just to get what? The late buyers here. So now that I've drawn this, and this has been completed in my drawing, what do you think fucking happens up here? Well, possibly it will sell back off, right? Or retrace back, right? Let's not make this complicating. We expanded. Where's a retrace? I don't care what this thing ends up doing, but that's logical. Okay, watch this. So we're in that gap. This is quadded. Very clear that it's quadded. We're already there. 930 is here. It's already done this. Look at the body sitting right there. Boom, on the 25. If you put an eighth level in here, which is an octant, if you put it between the 50 and this 25, the body is stopping right there. Do you think that's fucking coincidence? What does it do? It sells off and comes right to the high of that daily imbalance. Bearish daily imbalance. To the fucking tick. Yeah, your other methods of trading are not showing you that. And then guess what? That this same idea here with the body right here is happening. You're gonna see it happen in damn, what was I gonna say? Oh, right here. Yeah, in between this high of this gap. Remember, we're just between that gap. We come in between the daily, and then we come into this gap. In this gap, look at if I do this 50% level right here. This is gonna be, look at the body's gonna sit in this octant. Oh, you fucking don't say. You really fucking think this is buyers and sellers doing that? Come on, y'all. Think. Look at my chart. It's my chart. What do we do here? We bounce up here. We're playing around the 930. Look at this. I got an inversion right here. Pops, sits right there. Look at the body sitting right there. And then here's 930. When the price is up here, I'm actually writing down on one of my models which one I'm choosing. This is a pump dump. I know, I can tell myself already that this thing's gonna pump up. I don't know how far or how high, but it's gonna pump up and then it's gonna sink back down. Why? So you got momentum candles here, imbalance, right? Then you have higher lows here, liquidity. So liquidity, imbalance, and then this is a breakout area, right? So you don't expect it to come all the way back in one day. Could it have done that? Yes, it can, baby. And have I caught those before? Yes. Why it's not important? Because they did a fair delivery here. They bounced it with this bullshit right here. That's why I gave an option yesterday of also popping up right here and then just rating and then sinking all the way down. That was the 30 year. I made it very clear in that hour video. I don't make hour videos for fun and I don't make it just to talk. This is not just talking. It's not fucking talking. This is not random. Okay, new people I'm talking to. So the point is that I know the options. I understand price action. So when it's up here, guess what? Are we going to buy from here? I'm not buying up here. Are you crazy? Who would buy here? So they know it, right? Now, if they had went up and let's just say it went parabolic. Well, I don't know. Is that likely for what the news they said yesterday? No. And what's going on? No. But in general, if it was to have dumped first quickly and it started sharply moving up, like for a dump and pump, that's very possible because it could have created a speaker here. But what was more logical for this to be happening here? Oh, let me plug in my keyboard is dying at the second, and hold on 1 millisecond. Okay, so what are the options here? What are you understanding here? Well, first of all, the wicks, and look where it comes to. Wicks, these guys right here, comes into that 25%. Boom, comes back down and closes. those are entries. You could have pushed sell on top of here. If you were on the right side and you knew what you were doing, you could sell here. Closes down. What's this next candle? 931. Closes down. Creates your first imbalance. Beautiful. Why? Because it's underneath the 930 and it's below these little breakout levels. And it's an imbalance in general. And this is, you're looking for lower pricing to what? To wipe out liquidity. And look at Asia's low. Asia's low is sitting for the ripening. And it's right by also that daily bearish imbalance level. I know that we go in and out of these levels on the algorithmically on the gaps and the whatever. And you can see that, was this hard right here? You think this was hard? This can't be, right? Can you see this on your own, right? If you've been, you must have seen this, right? Right? You can feel it even, right? So imbalance, we make the imbalance, we pop up. Look at the body stopping right here. Does this tell you to sell? Yeah. Was this looking bad on the lower, on the oversold here, down here? Yeah. Did I fuck with it? I was still selling, but is this a great place to sell? Yeah, but what's more confirmed? It breaks down. Why do I have these circles here? I have the first circle here, which is, I'm highlighting the midnight level. It's important in this day, and every day really, but obviously, but the midnight levels here in the blue cross, and then you have the 50% of this daily imbalance. So in between these levels, these are weekly and daily levels, by the way, on my chart. I don't have like 15-minute zones and shit like that, right? Like these are all higher time frame levels, right? And I have it, by the way, I also but I moved this projection from the low to the high here. I wanted to see what it looked like. Obviously, well, you're going to say, which one is it? It all depends, right? It all matters. It doesn't matter at the same time, but like, I'll measure this low and this high here instead, and you'll see that it's at negative 3.5. We're already there. We're already at a negative 3.5. Okay, so that's what we're up here too. All right, so it's beautiful. So more of an inkling saying, okay, well, we took out this guy. This is good enough. They need to get some of these buyers here, because you could have closed your eyes and just buy, right? Okay, well, look at this beautifulness here. See the crack right here? Breaks, real quick raid. Pretend that the wick wasn't there. Pretend that the wick wasn't there. What would it do? You would just see a body, right? So you would just still see you would just still see order flow coming out with structure. Why? Because this high and this higher low makes a new higher high, and it retraces for a break. There's a displacement in a sense too. So this is what's also saying hello. So in a way, displacement, but that's a break of structure. This is a lower high. When it raids, that's manipulation. It still doesn't take out it could have took out the high or not. It didn't matter. Either way, it's just manipulation. But the structure is there with the bodies and the understanding. So, but it didn't make a high. But we also made a fucking where are we here? What's it called? You had a divergence first here with NAS, okay? Then lower highs here. So they push the price down. And is it a break of structure? So this is why I don't fuck with Dow, because this would be a break of structure and it'll still make a high. Here's a perfect fucking reason why I don't play with Dow. Okay, cool. Now this rams up and it's a lower high from here. This is a lower high from here, and we have a confirmation of this new higher high that's rated. And we just sold off. But did I need that? No, but it helped part of the program. But the point is that I have everything in place here with the understanding of coming in here, right? I don't expect to seal it. It doesn't matter. I just know that we're going to come low. Where? So my first target would be obviously the liquidity that we just made here, which is this bounce off this daily. And then I'm going to zoom out real quick. I'm not going to even draw them. There. And then these guys. See this right here? See this right here? See this? So this is liquidity and balance breakout, right? So that's there. And then in here you have a very similar story where, it's a breakout and then it's higher lows right there. See that? And then it's inside Asia, whatever. But coupled with the 50 here, let me go back to it. Just looking at logical fucking targets that it's going to go to, and that's what this is. That's what this circle from the 50 to the midnight levels specifically. We get to it. We retrace back. I highlight this up candle. Look at the fire here. Look at the fire here. Last candle up highlighted already. This is already a sell here and sell here. So this is your third opportunity. I talked about the retracements. This wasn't deep. That's good. You don't want it deeper than this. You want it to stop right here and keep going if you're really bearish. Write that down. That's very key. We pop in. There is a bearish imbalance here. It's highlighted. I'm going to highlight the box right there so you can see it, right? It's kind of hard to see it, sorry. But what's the point? That's a bearish imbalance with this up candle, with the bodies not in the top half of the first imbalance. Now with us tagging there and we're below the low of it. Beautiful. X marks the spot. Oh, what's this high right here level? That's that bearish daily imbalance. Oh my God. That's from March 12th. And obviously that's 4th. I remember February 4th still, right? All right, so we're tagging that, no bodies here. Look at this candle, pushes all the way down, pretending like it's going to buy. So it taps in an imbalance. Oh, that's an imbalance. It's a breaking structure, and we're gonna go up. Yeah, could it have done that? Yeah, I guess. But that would be real shallow to just buy back up again from here. There are no players involved, and they need to make an agenda for coming back to wipe them out. So it's just not in their interest till they're coming back, and that's more logical. But what happens here? This candle wicks back up and it closes right there. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But the next candle must not take out the previous high. I don't want to see that. What does it do? It makes a lower high and the body stops at that fucking level with all that nested shit I just told you. Beautiful. But look what happens on 9:50. Macro kicks in. We have time involved. So this is when your official entry should begin, technically. All right, because now you have time is involved. The algorithm is now going to spool and look for hunt liquidity lower for direction and all that, trying to set you up on this bullshit. I don't even look at this, right? Like I don't look at this like at this point. I don't look at this like, oh, it's gonna rebuy back up because it's a divergence on this oversold. No, that's not what I'm using this for here because it's too early. A, B, it's it's just too much early momentum. So it's like you're not looking at that. Like you got to use this with a grain of salt in this case, and then that's that. I mean, you just get a continuation with this candle immediately. Is coming right to where? Well, they stopped that low and didn't hit the 50. Then they came to the 50 here, right? And then notice how, I mean, you could take a look and pause if you want, but you can see banging on that midnight level, algorithmically hitting the 50, come to the 25, come back to the 50, back to the 25, back to the 50. You seeing this? Even if I took profit, do I want to enter new sales here? Not really. Why? Because of what's going on. This thing can do anything, as you know. If you make it hard, that's not about making it hard. It can happen. You know that. It can just whipsaw and get right back into who knows, right? But this is a bullish inversion. I didn't draw it, and that's exactly what you want to see. This is a control of price. 1, 2, 3, 4 up candles here. This is a control of price. It doesn't go lower the whole day here. I mean, it goes lower the whole day here until it comes back to visit it. Why? Because it's part of the algorithm. You'll see in a second right here. But 50% comes back playing with this. So when I have these levels on my screen here, I'm not making it hard right now. I knew it was going through it. I know we're coming back in it. And then we'll see how it wants to bounce around from these levels. You'll see it happening, as you know already. Fire here, okay? 25%, boom, low. Now, don't get lost. This opening range gap here, this is the first 25% level right here, okay? And then the 50% would be down here, okay? So when I'm coming down, I have two areas that I know it's going to. First is here. No fucking question. Step number 2 is, what's the low here? Look at my circle here that I have. See the tie of this circle? Look to the left. It's that Asia low. You see it? Asia low? If you're new. Okay. I know I'm going to get there. If it's going to come lower, I know it's going to go there. And then guess what? I'm encompassing the 25%. And then what's this level right here? That's the high of that gap, right? Okay, well, I murdered it, right? Yeah, right here, right? Okay, so guess what happens? We come right into it. Boom. And notice how when we get here, we rush quickly to get in there. Not fucking surprised. Look to the left here. We also have the liquidity imbalance and then a breakout imbalance, right? So in between that, you usually as a sell model, you'll notice that it'll come for that liquidity. Coming to could it have bought from that imbalance only? Yes, but the one below it is more likely. But what's really more important? Why did the price come in here? Why is that more important? Push pause and figure it out. Why do you think? I mean, because this is the upper quadrant of that gap. All right, now before I continue, that's what I do here. I do fire. That's what I do here. Let's go back. This is a 5 minute up here, and this is a 1 minute. I have the eighths levels on here. You don't see it on the other chart. Look at the 5 minute. Look how it stopped right here. It was bouncing on a 25%. On an eighth level, octant level. Pop back up. Here's the 1 minute. Remember? Here's the 1 minute. That's that octant. And then the midnight level's over here. Remember? So they put that midnight level. Let's go back. They put that midnight level. Okay, right there. See this? Midnight level. This is the 50% of that old bearish daily imbalance. Look at this. Look at the body coming through, and then underneath on the 5, here you can see it clearly hitting it there. And then comes to the 25. And then now in this case, what you can do is actually, because it's so large, and write it for your notes, only when it's large can you put a 16th in here. And it's like, dude, that's too much. Yeah, it is too much. You don't need it. You don't need a 16th. But on a situation like this, it could help. But the eighths are just enough. But what's the point? Is that this is what it's doing. Look how it's stretched, and then it came back to the 25 right there on the 5 minute. You see this here? You'll see this bouncing right back on that 25. Let's get back into the video, and then you'll see here on the 15 minute. To the right is the 15 minute. So I'm going to usually switch this over, but right now I just got it this way. You'll see it come right up into the 8th. I'm sorry, the 16th. That's not there. Do not have it drawn there, but it would be there, right there. That's where the breakout level is happening on a 16th. Do you believe me? Or should I have to do this? It's very clear that you can see it. Look at the 50% right there. Right? So that breakout area, all that little fun stuff is happening right there. You think that's a coincidence? No. But moving forward, you can see that I understand that once we leave this, then it would make sense to come out of this because the algorithm knows that it left this gap up from here and took off, right? And it's a 25%, and it just makes logical fucking sense, right? If it wants to keep going, it doesn't matter. But notice how we bought back up from here. Why did we buy? And this is a beautiful buy. Why? Because this is a retracement. You can get an expansion or not, but this could be the first low, internal low. When they call this a fair delivery and consolidation, and that's where actual price action is sitting, all this is in balance. It comes back to the next phase of price, which is back to fair delivery because it's back and forth. It's offering that. In between here is an imbalance. So, and down here is also fair delivery because it's back and forth, right? Okay. Well, that's what they sell and they tell you to, how it works, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is that we just had sellers here killing it, right? So when I draw this, I know that we're coming up here to wipe out fucking sellers. What do you think my next thing is going to say? Well, I would draw a retracement here because we're going to wipe out the late buyers, right? I'm not making this complicated. So guess what happens here? Dude, if you go look at this on a 5 second, 5 second, 15 seconds, it's fucking awesome, obviously. You could get much lower in here. You can see a change of delivery here, but on the 1 minute, you can see the change of delivery right there, right? That's it. This is us. I just told you guys this yesterday, right? You could buy right there. right there. Comes back in, pulls up. When it pulls up, it takes the sellers here to the left. It's trying to pretend like this is a resistance right here or something, right? So why do I know this is a good buy? Only because of the fact that it was dropping, and then you get the language of a cascade of a waterfall of price action. Now this is a fear situation. It's an oversold. It's going to bounce back up. Why? Because it has to wipe out these easy sellers here. If you didn't know it was selling right here, you're blind. If you didn't know it was selling right here, you're blind. I'm sorry to say it that way, but you would be blind because I know it's selling from here. Right? Okay. So if that's the case, they come up here. Now, immediately, I'm watching price, and I know for a fact that once it comes up here, it's going to pull back. Boom! Why do you think it pulled back? Why do you think it pulled back? There's no difference. There's no difference in this right here. Pulling back to shoot back up. Why? Because people were buying. There's no difference between here, low, high, retracing back. Why do you think it's retracing back? Because people were buying right there at the end. And they expanded it again. This little fractal is the same fucking thing. Matter of fact, on the 4 hour, look at this. You low, high, retracement. Why are they coming back right here? To wipe out the easy buyers so you can go back up. That's the fucking same shit right here. I don't care what kind of data you got and all that shit. My dude, it's very simple. That's very simple. This is actually nice price action. This sucked. I mean, this is time distortion. Instead of going a straight line, they just go sideways and they'll give you some fake structure, try to get you in these little fucking candles in here. You can if you know what you're doing, obviously. I used to catch these too, but inversion here, I'm not going to draw that. It's not needed. It's coming into this imbalance, very clear. But obviously coming back in here. If you did a fib from low to high or low, you could sell that's a 61 damn near. What was the point of this? Well, they gotta create and induce liquidity here as well because they're constantly now. Okay, so now that they've retraced back, what do you think they're doing by going up? They're going up to wipe out these easy fucking sellers that we were selling from. Okay, let's not make it hard. Guess what? Beautiful. Pops up. When this comes down here, could you see it falling all the way through? Not likely. It would look fucking awkward if it just sank right down from here. Can it have? Yeah. We're not in that market. It ain't moving that fast. They're not in a rush. Obviously, as you can tell, they're not in a rush. When it gets here, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to pop back up. It's going to get this guys right here that we're selling. Because everyone wants a lower high and a lower low here structurally. I'm not trading structure. I'm not married to structure in that sense. But what you can do is to structure back up. Even though it comes back down, which was beautiful. Okay, it didn't take out that low yet, but created liquidity. But watch this. Okay, so it pops back in, another reversal. All right, comes back up, plays around, 25, 50, comes up, misses that midnight level, plays around. You could do eighth levels in here, which I'm not going to. It's not necessary, but that's a breakout candle right there from here. See this? Boom. Notice how it comes back. Okay, fine. Low levels. This is all easy, obvious shit. You're going to oversold. It's popping up. Beautiful fucking buy, by the way. Also, I really think that the price action has been been decent. In general cases, considering what's happening and what we're going through, but at the same time, challenging. But as you see, we make a new high here and we go straight to where? You think we fell short of that first imbalance by accident? By ticks? Oh, what's that level? Oh, again, that's that high of the daily bearish imbalance. You see it? You can't make this shit up, man. Come on, bro. Wow. Isn't this a beautiful sell right here with that 950 time macro? Look at it. You think that's fucking buyers and sellers? Wow. You need all those bubbles and fucking volume profiles this is perfect. My dude. And anyways, overbought here. Then guess what? Did a 50. 50. 25. Drew to 50. 25. Playing around. Comes down. 25% there. Back to the top of the gap. Inside. Someone who saw this on a 5, 15 second or even on a 1 comes right back to it. All right, now this is becoming your fair delivery in all these areas, and a lot of volume of people participating in, and blah 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 blah. All right, and then just pops right back to the 50. You fucking really think that's fucking buyers and sellers? My dudes, stop it. You know I murdered it. So anyways, this is a higher high there. And then when it came down, we had a higher low with Dow right here. It's this little swing low right here. So we had a higher low with Dow, and they took them out. So that was explaining that buy right there. And if you move it over, you can obviously see that. Well, not obviously, but you can see that we have a nice divergence here and shit, man. Lower high here, higher high, higher high, right? Boom, coming right back. So however you got involved there, beautiful. And then we had already a same story with VIX. It's like all the way pushed down. You expect it to push back up. As we're pushing back up, we were selling with Nas originally when we did, and then it reversed, and that nice buy came for Nas. Well, this came back down on the VIX, made another higher low, was going to push back up for VIX while we pushed back down here. Same story. This last push off on VIX down, we just popped up to the 50. So it was pretty decent there. Not something necessary that I needed at all or anything. But just nice. And then boom, talked about dollar, getting into dollars, this imbalance right here, most likely, because if it's going to break through, and sure enough, that did that. And then, so dollar was pushing up while we were pushing down today. And then this is that explaining that retracement. And, I mean, there's nothing else to say, dude. And this looks actually kind of still bullish here. Coming into a suspension block here on the weekly. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm not even going to draw it out. Go do the research on there. Just coming back up lower for some liquidity here to the left. Overbought here on the daily, trying to get into that as well. I've been mentioning that in these videos. What else is there to say here? Not much, but let me move forward. Here's a pump dump as well. But look how stupid this is. Like, would you want to do this? So this is a pump, and then it came down. Made a new high, came back down. Made a new high, bro. This is why I don't trade down. This dumbass shit like this. And then, now I finally get the confirmation. You're waiting for this displacement. This is what gives you patience with Dow. Because if you understand Dow's manipulation, yes, it will show its hand eventually, but you're generally probably gonna, if you're impatient especially, or you're just eager or aggressive, you're gonna take some losses initially. Oh, how do I know? Because I've done it for a long time. 25% right there. And then came outside theirs. And then they're just sitting here. So Dow looks bullish. But S&P, this is backwards here. All right, similar story here, and popping up to that resistance area here. This is more for them, more of the initial breakout area, right? And then it's a power of it's an AMD, and with the monthly candle, with also the yearly candle and the quarterly price action, you expect it to open, come down, and then distribute back up. So manipulation is happening down with the accumulation down, and then distribution back up. But this is pretty high, dude. I mean, they have erased a majority of that already. This is just amazing how how no one knew about it. I'm Mr. Bearish, remember? Right? How do I know this? This is seasonality and logical. Now from here, well, gets tough, but I mean, we'll see what we end up talking about. But, anyways, so you got there, and they're just squeezing up. Here you go. Here's a very, so when it's a pump dump for me, I expect to sell, buy, sell. Generally, it's a bearish day. But because we have it already a bullish day, I know that we're going to stay most likely in this upper quadrant. And that's why I'm not that excited to continue or keep trading or anything. Even though this is good movement, I expected to kind of do that, right? So that's why that first top half, first top quarter, I should say, in this whole movement is likely. So the sell by sell, you get move one on the bigger swinger side, move two, move three, move four. So is this going to roll over? Is this going to continue up? The point is that these moves are most likely going to happen in our day, right? Because the weekly also has now been printed side. Well, I won't even get into that right now. But yeah, sell by sell, right? This is a 5 minute, so come right back to their 930. That's fucking algorithmic. You think they were able to stop the bodies on top of that 930 level? Come on, you got to think. That's not. And any other type of trading, your fucking volume profile is not going to be able to do that. I mean, I don't care what kind of DOM you have to the right of you, and doing all that. It's not. That's algorithmic, man. I mean, it's fucking pure in your face. I happen to have an artistic eye, so it's easy for me to see these things as you see me going through it. Anyways, on this 1 hour, you can see that we're inside that right there, and on the 15 minute, I've already explained the 15 minute. You can see a 30 minute too, but whatever, that's fine. I feel like I was missing something here. Nvidia also pushing straight the fuck up. So when it was already pushed the fuck up yesterday, that measure of retracement back, that's a breakout area. Very, very common for this situation. So this is where we are now. It's like, damn, this is literally back to like dead center again in a way. But kudos to everyone who was holding this swing. If you're swinging from, one of my swing traders here, I know you've been murdering that shit. You better take some profit out, or at least, I would say, half of it, at least. If anything, have all of it, really. But that's debatable. It's on you, right? But other than that, let's see here. So we came down here. Look at this. Deleting that. And so look at this. Came into a 1.5 here. Almost to the breakout area. On purpose, they missed this area. All right. Came to the 2 to 2.5, straight to the 3.5 to 4. All right. To your right. I mean, it's literally. Anyways. Where is it? Go look on your own. It's stuck to the tick. All right, I want to go. Look at that shit. What's this level right here that I'm at? 257.25. What's the high here? 257. So, I mean, that's just, it probably is random, right? Man, I'll be honest, this is one of my best calls I ever made. Definitely. I mean, I called the bottom over here down to up there, so which was, that's great too. But I mean, as far as like, I don't know, just the way the flow is, I mean, boom. We talked about this, staying above this quadrant, staying above this half, ran right through. I mean, what are you going to do there? Just know that you witnessed this before you can understand that it's a rising structure, rising even fucking triangle, whatever the hell they want to call it. Use that. That's why I drew this line all the way out, and this was going to be used as a fake resistance, or it could have sold from there, but nah, not likely, because we're coming up to wipe out easy sellers, and then they exploded from there. That's some people call this a breakout area, and this is great. Am I a breakout trader? No, but can I have bought this here? Yeah. Could I have been holding stuff from it? Yeah. But the trades that I've took, dude, I have got a massive amount of points. So it's like I'm never missing out. I never feel lack. So it's all good. Look at this alone, bro. This fucking drop here and buy back up alone is just, it's like you already got all of it, dude. Like, come on, put a fucking trend line right there. Put a trend line right here, bro. Like you knew that the first bounce that they're most likely going to come back to it. Like this is logical price action, right? But and 45 minutes. What else do I need to say here? I feel like I'm missing something here. So seasonality wise, the and I was talking about it pushing up, you know, in the eighth, ninth, 10th. If you're paying attention, they did it here already, and I think by the 10th it's going to continue. So right now we're kind of like it's Wednesday, so we're kind of like we have CPI too. I just feel like we should come back in here, and then even if it's still bullish, so I mean I might have to. I don't think I have to continuously draw it. Still, this is still in play right now. We're still in play, and this is still in play, right? So what does it mean? That means it's like it's pushed up, and it's just we just retrace here. So far, it's a retracement, all right, and they're delivering value here. So what we would expect um, back on that 15 and 5 year, because this is looking like the 15 year and the 5 year in its own way. If you had it, you'd know what I'm saying. So, obviously after they're done fucking around here, and before I even draw it, if you remember, it's very similar to like when we had if we're bearish, it'd be similar to something like this, like where you popped up, you retraced, playing around here, and then you end up rolling over. So here it's like, okay, we make these higher, lower highs and lower lows here, and then we kind of roll over. That's the bearish side. I'm not going to talk about it. It's kind of very similar to that price action here, where we popped all the way up, we went sideways for a day or two, and we're pretty much doing that here. It's pretty much like a transition day, even. But I mean, you still had some nice. But the trade of the day here was this, right fucking here. I don't give a shit what happened after this, but this was the trade of the day here. Guaranteed. I don't give a shit about buying or not, or whatever, or even selling from here. But that was the trade. So moving forward, if I do the 5 and 15 year, which is already bullet, if it's in the bullish scenario, I'm expecting, what's it called? Why wasn't it? Okay, sorry. It doesn't have to come too deep. I don't know where. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I don't fucking know. But this. All right, this is the general gist. All right, going through even till the next week. This is a very high seasonal 15 and 5 year push up, which we're already pushing up. The 30 year, obviously this is not the 30 year now because the 30 year kept showing more pullback down. But now that the time is involved, and if you look at the 30 year, you'll see that time wise, it will sell off first until like the 13th, 14th first. All right, you get a big. Now maybe CPI does it. I don't know, right? And if you look at this whole range here, I just want to say something like, maybe I don't know. I mean, we can keep it. I've already did the 5 and 15 year, right? Okay, so this is now I'm doing the 30. So the 30 is either, you bounce from here and come up, you come lower, which, I mean, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. Or it shows its ass off, and then one day, however, I know this looks pretty stupid. I mean, we still come back down. For you to come all the way back down, and I don't mean all tomorrow, guys, please. I don't mean, well, I guess I would mean within a couple weeks from this, so this week, next week, type of thing. You get a major pullback, and then if we're bearish, if we fall into this situation where I said we were something like in this scenario, we don't get that follow through here. I just don't see how they don't do it. They got 2 weeks of all this bullshit, so it's like, okay, oh, it's very positive, and then maybe they keep it up here, right? And then you start to see it expand back down. If in the negative months of, let's just say it happens in May, where we get a pullback because seasonality, we get a big sell off in May. Generally the first 20 days. And then it starts to buy back up. Okay? So I could draw. I can't fucking do all that, but look, call that shit nicely, huh? Boom. Pushed up. Getting them. But, I just, it's kind of like this flash crash here, right? But we were on the right side here the whole time, and then didn't get greedy and said possibly it could reverse. I'm very proud of myself, dude. Very proud of myself. Because we're all human. We get those feelings when you get this final rush here of selling, Or is this going to be an extended thing for like a year where it's like, okay, you popped up all the way back up here, but then we start to see this shit. So 22, if we show that we're really bearish, then you better study 22, boy. Or also 25, obviously. Don't get me wrong, right? But I mean, you would need to see. This is, for me, this is just crazy because it's really deep, and this is, to be honest with you, kind of new for me. I mean, I've never experienced nothing like this in a way, because if that's the case, it needs to keep going. We need to be bullish. It means we need to be creating legs like this, where we just push the fuck off, retrace, make new higher highs and higher lows. What I was just drawing, and we would want to see that, right? So, yeah. Hope that makes sense for you. I'm sure it does, but does this look practical? It doesn't. I'm Mr. Bearish. I'm still buying and selling, my dude. It's like, okay. So now that we created that, what do you expect the next day to be? So this was still a bullish day. And then tomorrow, what do you expect it to do? Do you expect it to come back down and then push back up for another bullish day? Do you expect it to come inside the wick of that we created today and then kind of fall back in this area just to deplete some of the liquidity of here and then some of the breakout momentum guys here? That would make sense. We'll see what we end up doing. But, this is how I participated in this, is literally looking at it like, okay, well, I've got 930s here. I've got liquidity here and I got liquidity here. So run up to it first, pump, and then dump to get deeper. It was the obvious choice. If it had pushed up and it was a birdie day, then my dude, that would be kind of stupid in a straight line so it's not high probability, obviously. But if you've seen that you could participate doing that, right? We're not doing that. We're making lower lows, lower highs. Don't make it hard. Now, could it have came lower and then bounced from here? Yeah, but it's like I said earlier in the video, that's not practical. It's going to make sense to come out more. Time-based, Asia low. All right. You also have, it doesn't hit the negative one here. It hit the positive one here, though, on the Asia range. Beautiful. But, yeah, man, I don't know what else I could say, dude. This is like, beautiful higher lows. And you're like, dude, what if it's selling off? Nah, not this. Not when it shoots up like this quickly, comes back. Does it keep going? No. So if it doesn't, it's going to buy from here and make a new high. Look at the structure. The structure's fucking there. Boom. Fans right here. Boom. Fans right there. Boom. Go. And just rushing. Yeah, wherever you wanted to get out. It don't matter. It was fire. That was fire. Yeah, I've drawn it up. Did I miss anything? I feel like I'm going to miss something here. But yeah, came to the 1.5, and then back to breakout, and then shot to the 3.5 to 4. Let me move it back to this real quick. I'm just gonna do it here. All right, 1 and 1.5, pull back to the 2.5. All right, so on the upside, if we keep going up here, I'm gonna be probably moving it back to this and seeing if we can get into this over here. Remember, I was going to forget, I extend everything over. It's not too much shit, man. It's very simple when it goes back in and forth from it. from the gap to the gap, right? Trying to pretend like this wasn't existing in here. You're like, well, why didn't you? What if it went here? Well, then if it went there, it went there. We talk about it if it goes there, but it didn't. It didn't need to. Damage is already done. It's already high. No one's gonna push by here either. They've already accomplished what they did to the left. Next, what I'm gonna say is this pink right here. Remember? Do you guys remember? Because I remember when this dropped and gapped, there was an inefficiency here. Remember? Remember that gap right there, guys? You remember that, right? Where's my Oh, I'm on the pointer. That's why I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Wednesday, February 25th, when we opened up on February 26th, open, still Wednesday, until well, whatever, 6 p.m. All right. There's a gap here. So there's no selling candles in here. That's inefficient. It's not a void of price, but it is inefficient. So it only if I had pushed buy up here, it put me underwater. There's no mitigation or balance there. So they need to, on the upside, if we were to lean up more, that would be a nice target too. Because it's like you're coming all the way up here, and you're not going to make that you're not going to make that efficient. Well, what's on the way? These equal highs right here. I don't have to draw them, dude. We already took out that guy. These guys right here. Breakout area here. This 50 would be the next target up here, obviously, right? After that would be there, okay? And then negative 3.5, and then maybe take out that guy there, obviously, right? Because why? Those are equal highs relative, right? So that's the upside on the examples I gave you. You see what's down here, and oh, and then I almost forgot. I also drew these guys when we left here. Here, coming back down. When they did this price delivery, you look on the 15-second, you'll see a gap here too. So it pushed down. It only offered selling. Up here, there's a gap in price here. So on a 15-second, you'll see something similar here, and then something similar here. Even though there was previous price action to the left here with the high here, but you can see that we ran right through, and then from here it just pokes up. So they can say fuck off, we don't care, we're not going to worry about this, but I marked it, so we'll see who knows. There's no body in here on the 15-minute right there on the daily. So that's why I eventually like to see, like, if we turn into the 30-year, right? Or we come visit this next month. Let's just say we keep staying up here, then maybe we come back down next month. And let's just say that this is just some higher high that we're making here, and then we're gonna make another higher low. I'm just totally fucking talking, right? And then we come back into here as a higher low type of shit, and we buy again. I don't know, I don't care, but we'll see what happens when the price actions buy it. But I'm not like married to selling it to this or anything. That's not what I'm telling you here. But that's a little extra credit right there. And man, this is just, I mean, I don't know. I really, today was just like really nice. Honestly, really nice, dude. I mean, fucking really nice. Um, I mean, what else do I need to say? 58 minutes. It's the best 58 minutes you ever seen in your life, dude. I mean, this is a phenomenal shit, dude. I mean, it is. Again, it doesn't have to be hard. Doesn't have to be hard. I feel like I'm missing something here. Where do we hit? Oh, that eighth again? Oh man, didn't hit it exactly. Just missed it by like a couple points though. Over here, if I come back out, I don't have the opening range gaps here because this is it's the continuous, but I don't have it open in here. This was last Tuesday. This was like 3 Tuesdays ago. All right, so not this Tuesday. All right, so not this Tuesday, and then not this Tuesday, and then not that Tuesday. That's 3 Tuesdays, but 4 Tuesdays ago. Okay, so 1 month. It's not important. It's not important either. But I wanted to show when we pulled back and we sold off. Look at this top 25%. Look to the right. Look to the right. We're missing it by some points. That guy right there. I know you can probably see it, but yeah, yeah. And then look at this 8th level here. Look to the right. See how he smacked it again right there, and the bodies is kind of respecting it. Go do the research, and I definitely have done enough. I hope this helps you. You guys take care and God bless.